Hi everybody. Today I will talk about observable and how to store property in map. First of all, I open a new project and with the hello and function main. And inside this, I define the user class. We have the property name is the name of the user, and I import the delegate to user observable. And the current address is a property that using delegate.observable. Observable means that it will notify when the current address or the property change. The first parameter is initialize value or the init value of current address, and the block here is called when the current address change. When it change to news value, it will run this block or run this function. So inside this we have a lambda function, and the lambda function here we have the prop means the property, the old address and new address. You can change this name depending your purpose, but I use old address and new address with this order. So you can add multiple line here. By printing address is changing, you have to change address, etc. And we print out that the old address and the new address means that the old will be changed to the new, and the property name. Okay, and here you create a new object, and this object has the name user name of Nguyễn Đức Hoàng, for example, and you set the current address to this address. For example, the multi-line, you can use this for multi-lines, and then the current address change, it means it will call to the observable. So after running, you see that from no address to this address, no address is the initialized address, and the new address is the address I have just assigned. Okay, so what about how to change multiple time? Okay, you can change multiple time. You can change now, you can change later the current address, or you can, for example, you change to Bạch Mai Street, Hanoi, Vietnam, and run. So you see that now we have the property has changing from this value to the new value. Bạch Mai Street, Hanoi, Vietnam is the new value. Okay, so in this block or in this lambda function, you can add more tasks to here to do when you change the value. Now I will talk about how to store property in a map. A map is a key value pair. We have the name is a key, the value is Nguyễn Đức Hoàng is a value, and this is the value and key like in JSON object. For example, we have a user object, and the user object has it's a mutable map. The mutable means that this can be changed. This is changeable, and the value is any object, and the key is string. Key is string, and the value is any, means that any object type, and it is the key and value. And you can assign or initialize with the key is the name, is a key, and the Đức Hoàng is value. So it is key to value. Okay, after assigning this, we have an object with the map, and inside the map we have a key and value pair for the property. You can get using get value. You call the get value, and from the key, get value mean get value from the key. For example, from name we have Nguyễn Đức Hoàng, and from age we have 35. Okay, so running, you see that we have a user detail name Đức Hoàng and age is 35. Okay, and this is a way to use. You can also add a map to a property of the class, and you also set for example icon set to set the new value. For example, you set the age to the new age of 40. Yes. So after running, you can see the value before setting and after setting. So we have the before and after. So we have a two value, before and after set the value. Okay, using the set. And okay, now so you can add to an existing class. We have a customer class with a map object, and the map object is a property of map. String key is string and value is any object. So inside this I can add the properties that mapping to the map object by using by will map to the existing property of the map. Then you can define the object here as a customer, and the property is a map up here, and the map will be changed to the property by mapping using the by syntax. So in this case you can map from the object of key value to a regular object. Then you can call the object as a regular object by dot name and dot age. Yes. So now we have the detail here and run to see that the custom detail is name is here zone and the age is 30. Okay, and you can okay. So this is very important, when you want to set the value from values that you get from the internet for HTTP. Hi everybody, today I will talk about higher order function in Kotlin. And what about the higher order function? Higher order function is a function that has a parameter as a function, and they can return a function. And remember that it is higher order function. Then I will give you some example about this. By firstly, we have a class log. This class has two methods. The methods that lock the process, and the second method to unlock the process. It is useful for task management. And we have a function that anonymous function, and the anonymous function called body function. Body function is a point to this anonymous function that I introduced about some of the previous lesson. And inside this I can blah blah do some of the tasks about the body function. I get the process ID as an integer, a random integer, and I print out to the screen some of the information, and I return the task ID. So the task ID is an integer point to the ID task, or the ID of the current task doing. Okay, and this is a higher order function. This higher order function will have the body, the property body. The property body is a function, or the input parameter of this function is also a function, and this will return to an integer. Okay, so firstly I call the log method, or the log function of the object log to inform that the process is processing. For example, is processing, and then I use a try cat. The try cat will do some of the tasks inside this, and choose the arrow if the error occur. So the body here is a function. I call the function inside this using the function, and the input parameter is a function. So finally, it means when it is finished, it will unlock the process means that the process will be used for another work or another task, for example. So remember that the body here is a function. The body is a function, and the body is also an input parameter of the higher order function. Yes, and was that it is the definition of a higher order function. And what about the function, the return function? I can declare later. So inside the main, we call this function by do task, and the first parameter is a log. I initialize a log object. The log object is initialized for calling unlock or log function. Second is a body function. Yes, and this is a function as an input parameter of a higher order, and run. So we see that I log the process, and I call the log function, and after finish I call the unlock the process. And this is a very basic example of a higher order function. And what about the functions that return now return a function? Yes, so this function will return to a function. How can I do this? Firstly, it will return to using the compare. I define the compare as a lambda, and the lambda will return to which is list, or x is less than y. It will to be true. The compare will be true. And in this I will add the collection. Yes, the input parameter first is collection of integer, and the second is a function. The last is also a function. Input parameter is a function. So the function will return boolean, means that x less than y, it is true. So okay, then this higher order function will return an integer. So this is a very basic algorithm for getting the maximum value of from a list of value. We have a list of value. We can call this function list. This function list will be called to determine which is a max value. Okay, then I can call this by adding the input parameter. The input parameter here is a list of integer, and the list of integer we can call the get max value inside this, or the higher order. This is a higher order function. Input is an array of int, and input is compare is a function. So after calling this, I can get the maximum value of the function. Okay, and this function will call to compare. Remember that the compare is a function. You can use the compare as a normal function, or a function without name, or anonymous function, or lambda, etc. So that is I print out the max value to here, and then right click and run. Okay, so the max value here. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for watching this lesson. Thank you very much for watching this lesson, and please subscribe to my channel for more. Hi everybody, today I will talk about destructing declaration in Kotlin. And what about this? Destructing means that you extract the property from a existing class and object. Okay, so remember that it only works with data class, and we have a data class example here. It's a data class customer. We have the property name and age. Name is string, and the age is a value. and the integer. And I initialize the object customer with the name Đức Hoàng and s 35. Okay, so this is an object that created from the data class customer. So I extract this using name as this is destructing a property. Yes, and this is error. Why? Because only data class can destructure. Remember that only data class. So change to data class, it will be destructed, and you can show to the screen this as a separated variable. We have name, we have value without adding the customer dot. Okay, and this is a way we want to extract many or multiple variable inside an object. For example, now I have a customer 2. In this example, we have a customer 2 and customer object, and we have a list of customers, and this is a type of a collection type of customer. So this is an array of customer object. It contains many customer object inside this, and I initialize it customer and customer 2. So we have 2 objects in the list. Okay, now I want to iterate for loop, using the for loop to iterate the object, and each object has a name and age. I extract this using the destructor ring declaration. So we have a name and age for each of the loop, then run. So we have the detail here. We have a name Đức Hoàng and the name is Alex, etc. Okay, and this is a way to destructure from a list. And then we have the function that return multiple value. How can I do this? Assume that we have a function that calculates something and return to one or more value. For example, calculate a vector, and we have the return is 3 value x, y, z. What can I do? So I have to define the result object as a data class. The result object is a data class with the input is x and y and z, and this is a return value when you calculate the function. And when I calculate the function, I do some tasks, calculate, etc. Blah blah, and I return the value after calculating. For example, I return the value is 8 is 1, 5, and 6 is a 3 value that I after calculating I return to this value. Then I can get the value by calling this function to using the destructuring, and we have the 3 value x, y, z. Destructing by calling the function, and you can change to another name, x1, y1, etc. x1, x2, y2. So you print out to the screen as a separated variable, like a separated variable, and run. So you see that the value is 1, 5, and 6. Okay, we have the 3 value has been printed out to the screen about this. Okay, then this is how to destruct some value to the data class, and the data class is returned by a function. So what about the map? We have a map of user. We save the user object as a map of key is string, and the value is any. The value is any object type, and I set the value here. The first is name. For example, the value is Alexander, and the age to 40 is equal to 40. This user object is a type of key value like JSON. So I can extract this using the destructuring declaration as the key value to destructure the key and the value inside the user object, and then it will destructure all the key value in this, and I print out to the screen all the key and the value of the hash or the map. And then after running, I can see that we have the key here, a value here, blah blah, and key is and value 40. Okay, so this is a way to use a for loop and destructuring to extract the property inside a map. Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk about collection type in Kotlin. Collection type mean we have a list, for hash, we have a set, etc. So we have a list, set, and map in Kotlin. So we can talk about this to some of the simple example. Firstly, I have mutable list. Mutable here means that you can change, add, remove element inside a mutable list, and the mutable list is using mutable list up function to create a new list. And you have a read-only number is also a list. A list means that it is not mutable, so you cannot add more or remove inside this. So firstly, I add a number to the existing collection using add, and I print light after adding or before adding. So we have a list of number, so run. So we have this number add successful because it is a mutable list. A mutable list can be added to added more element inside this. And what about the read-only number? Because the read-only number point to the same object, and it is the same because it has the same reference. Read-only reference to the number, so after the number change, the read-only number also change accordingly. So it is point to the same object and the same value. So if you add more, you cannot add because the read-only number is not mutable. It is a list, not mutable list, so it is immutable. And now we have a string of multiple set. We have a set of string or a list of string, and inside this we have A, B, C, or D, and you can add or remove, you can change because it is mutable. So you can check that if the list contain a specific letter, or for example contain the string G or contains the string A, etc. And you can use the contain to check for this object contain another object. Okay, so run. Yes, see that this set not contain G, not contain the string G. So if you change to B, then run, then B. Okay, and after running, we see that this set this collection contain B. Okay, this is very simple. You do not need to use while or for loop. So you can sort descendingly or sort ascendingly, then using this function sorted descendingly, it will automatically sort the array for you. Yes, and vice versa. We have this DCBA sort ascending descending depending on the alphabet. Yes. Okay, so what about how to take snapshot? Take snapshot means that you clone to a separate immutable object, means that an object cannot be changed. You can back up, you can save, you can break up a collection then to use at this time. For example, we have float mutable list. This if mutable list can be changed, and you have a 3 element, and I back up the float list is a list that immutable or not mutable or not changed, and this is cloned from the float mutable list to save it to a list, and then you call to list. After calling to list, we have a new to list object has been created that immutable, and it is a backup. It will save for the future to do something, for example to back to roll back, etc. Then after calling add, you can add more element inside the first, and I will change the first and the second to okay. You see that it is in separated memory location. The float mutable list can be added, and the backup float list not changed. It is in the separate location in the independent memory location. Okay, so this is the way you do for backing up some of the data. So you can also get the first element or the last element of a list by calling first, the calling last function. First function returns the first element, and last function return the last element inside the list. Okay, so for last element. So right click to run, and you see that the first is 1 and the last is 4. Okay, so what about the next? What can I do now for the next? We will talk about the filter function. Inside the filter function, we have a lambda function, and the lambda will determine what condition can be used. We have a item is the input parameter, and the implementation is item larger than 2.0 float. Okay, and this will check for all the elements that becomes this condition is true, or item is more than 2.0 float, and I print out to the screen about this value, filter and run. Okay, and I see that we have 3 and 4. That means it larger than 2, and then this is a filter function using the input of lambda function. So what about the null? We have a list that contains a null value. So the int is the in question. In question means that inside this we have an integer that can be null, that can be null. For example, we have a null number inside this list, and I print out this list, and my question is I guess we can print out to the screen a null 1 2 null 3 4. Okay, and I want to remove the null. What can I do? You do not need to while loop and remove. You only use this function require no null. You can add this function to here require no null, means that it will true an exception. It will true an exception when it encounter a null value. So the require no null means that it will check and ensure that no null is passed through here. And what about the mutable hash map? A hash map something like a map, but we only add okay, we also have a string key and a value pair, and it is a hash for optimizing the performance. So for example, we have s equal to 1, it's a key, and the 1 is a value, so it is a key value pair. And similarly to y is 2 and key value pair. Okay, so we have a mutable map, so you can change by using this syntax to change the value. For change h to 100, and after running, so you see that we have the new value is equal to 100 and y is still 2. Okay, and this is a mutable map or mutable hash map you use to save the value, and we get the value, set a new value, etc. Okay, so you can also use this function set and use this syntax. Two line of code here are the same, so after running, there I see that the new value is it's 100. Okay, and then x and y. Okay, this is hi everybody. In this lesson I will talk about range in Kotlin. What about range? Range for example, from 1 to 10, from 1 to 100, etc. Okay, let's first do the for loop using in, and this means that I is from 1 to 10. So after running this, I see that 1 2 3 4 5 10. Okay, so in I in 1 dot 10 means that from I from 1 to 10, and you can run this and choose it the down 2. Down 2 means that from 10 to 1, and you cannot use for dot here. So if you want to print from 1 to 9, what can I do? In this case, I use until. The until will give you run from 1 to the maximum -1, and it is from 1 to 9 from this example. So you see that 1 to 9, this is a down until. So please distinguish between dot between down 2 and until, and there is different. So if we have a list of integer, so we save it to int. We have some of the value here. So this is an array of integer, and you can check that a number is in the list by using in. For example, check that 30 is in this list, and after running, you see that this number exists in the list. Yes, so 30 is in the list. Or you can use another side exclamation. What about the exclamation? Exclamation in means that not in or not in, and you can change here, paste to this, and cut this and paste to this line. Okay, so this checks that is not in. So run. Okay, just this number exists in the list. Yeah, so this is different from the in. Okay, what about the step? If you want to for loop from a step, you use the size step. For example, step 2 means that 0 and 1 2 and 3 4 or 0. Okay, so we have step 2 is at 0 2 4 6, etc. It means the step is 2. Or you can change the step to filter a list. So let's increase a little bit to step 3 and print now. So you see that 1 and 3, and then 3 for 6, 3 and 9. Okay, then the step is 3. Okay, so you want to down to this step, because this step can be used, can be applied for the down to syntax. For example, from 20 down to 0 using step 2. So we have a list down to from big to small. Yes, we have it here. Yes, down to from 20 to 0. Yeah, depending on your step you can show. And what about the printer? We have we can add this to an array variable. You can create a variable and add this loop to an array, to a variable of array filter int. So Using filter in, I can print out the filter in, copy this, print out. So I can for loop on the element inside the filter list using this in and calling. Okay, so we have this here. I can print out to the screen about the filter list. The filter list can get from a command like here to save to a separate variable. You can also use a property first, a property last, or the method it is the same. Okay, you can print out the first element and the last element inside the list. Okay, and you can run. Okay, so we have a first element 1, the last element is 29. Yes, and it is the end of my lesson today. Please subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos.